Hi, I'm Alex. I'm the co-founder of Rent Hero. This is going to be a presentation regarding how to avoid being scammed. Obviously, there's a lot of scams going on, but let's try and see if we can help you find out if someone is trying to scam you or not. So there's been this Airbnb scam going around where a person rents an apartment for, let's say, a week, and then try and rent it out again to an unknown party in the disguise that it's actually this person's apartment that they're renting out. The way you can try and find out if the person you're talking to is actually also the owner of the apartment is that we have this public database where you can look up the official ownership of an apartment. It's called ois.dk. If you go into that website, then you'll be asked to enter the municipality of the apartment or building. You enter that in, then you enter the street name and address, and then this shows you all the apartments in the building. You then click the right apartment, the one you're about to rent, and then you can see who the official owner is. And if it's a person, then the name will stand there as who's the official owner, and then you can check whether or not the person you've actually been writing with has the same name as the same person. If it's not the same name, then I think it would be wise of you to ask why there's a difference between this. It might, of course, be that they are having someone in their family to try and rent it out for them, so it doesn't necessarily mean that they're out to scam you, but it's just a good way to check up and see if there's anything that's a bit fishy there. And there are also situations where people are trying to rent out apartments which they don't own. So it can be another rental company or a company that owns a lot of buildings. And if you enter there, it won't show that there's a person owning it, but a company owning it. And then you can see if the person is saying that they own the apartment, then you know they're lying, as it's the official owner is a company. So this database can be very helpful to navigate, if the person you're talking to is also the owner of the apartment. So is the offer too good to be true? This is like a common thing about most times people are trying to scam you, whether it's a very cheap iPhone or something else, and then let your alarm bells should ring. Obviously, see the apartment before you sign the lease. That's very important. It can be difficult if you're sitting in another country and you want to make sure you get this apartment when you do come to Denmark. But as a rule of thumb, then be very sure to check if the person you're writing with is actually the owner, and check, have them transfer any proof that this is actually their apartment and that they have access to it. This also corresponds with that. If you're sitting in another country and the person trying to rent out the apartment to you is having you transfer the deposit and prepaid rent to an international account, then that seems very off, and I would probably advise you to check that twice before transferring it. Then also one of the things we've seen from people trying to scam is that they're like using their own rental agreements. In Denmark, we have this standardized template which is to be used for all rentals. It's called an A9 template. It has like a lot of forms that needs to be filled out. They try to make it easy. There's in this instruction manual or like this manual in the end of it to help you understand what terms are set out in the contract. If someone is trying to use a different template than this, then and they seem like a professional party, then be aware it would be very unlikely for a landlord to use an unauthorized template because it puts a lot more responsibility on the landlord. So it's a disadvantage for the landlord. So any reasonable landlord would, of course, use the A9 template. So that's also a tip on our end. That was a brief overview. If you have any questions, you can always reach out. That's it for me. Bye.